With all the resources that are available nowadays to study the Bible and to hear from good teachers and good preachers online, and with all of the problems that come with committing ourselves to a particular individual group of people, why do we need to commit to a local church? Now, I think this is a really important question, particularly now in the time of COVID, when many of us, particularly those of us who have grown up in the church, are finding all kinds of resources from all kinds of other spaces available to us. I mean, even my local home church has now been live streaming our services, and we provide these videos for people during the course of the week, and there's other ways in which we're seeking to help people grow at home and in their own spaces and with their own groups of friends or family. But the reason it's so important for us to become a part of an individual local church and to commit ourselves to stay with that local church is because God's ultimate goal in our lives is transformation of ourselves and of our communities. Now, transformation happens when you move from one thing to another thing. A caterpillar is transformed into a butterfly. And so when we put off the old person, as Paul says, and put on the new person, we're changing from one particular kind of person who has one particular kind of character, certain kinds of habits, certain ways of functioning with the world and interacting with others, into a different person. Now, that person may or may not be completely distinct from the person they were before, and in fact, most of our good character traits will be heightened and enhanced as God works within us, and then our bad character traits will be shaved away or cut away from our lives. But in order to move from one thing to another, there needs to be some kind of a catalyst or some kind of an encouragement, and often that encouragement has to come from outside of ourselves. I know for myself, I don't realize where I need to change until I run into a problem with the way that I'm currently functioning. See, for most of us, the way that we're functioning now has got us to the place we're at. And so for most of us, it's really difficult for us to see the ways in which the habits or the ways that we have chosen to cope in our lives actually bring us into some negative spaces. They've worked pretty well so far. And so this is why we need to commit ourselves to a local church or to a particular local group of believers. We need to commit to that place because if we are working through our lives of transformation and we're being moved from one thing into another, well, that change process is often fairly painful, shall we say? I do not like to be told ways in which I am failing. And I'm sure you don't either. And so when we're in a community and when we bump up against things that cause us to get angry or that cause us to reflect on the ways that other people might be failing, and let's face it, when there's an argument or a fight, it always takes two to have that happen. So then we have to reflect on the ways that maybe we need to learn from what's going on. That's difficult and that's hard work. And when we hurt one another, the work that it takes to reconcile or to come back into community where we can again engage with one another is hard work. And it takes commitment. Commitment to be in and with a particular group of people, no matter what happens. Too often, we move away from difficult situations too easily. We think that our lives should be easygoing, that they should be carefree, that we should be happy, and that Christian communities should be places where we always feel great and are encouraged by those who are around us. And while that is the ultimate goal, where we get to a place of full transformation, right now we're still either here or on the way towards transformation, which means we're not complete yet. Neither us as individuals nor us as a community. And so we need one another. There are all kinds of ways to do this, and I'd love to hear from you on what you have found to be a good way or a way that has been beneficial for you to remain connected to the community that you are a part of. As usual, if this has been helpful for you, I'd encourage you to like and to subscribe, and like I said, comment and tell us how you are staying connected to your community.